In this session, we're going to dive into one of the most versatile and engaging ways you can use GPT by assigning it roles. We'll look at what role-playing means when working with GPT, how you can set up these roles effectively, and most importantly, how this technique can enhance your personal, professional, and creative tasks. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand how to unlock a whole new dimension of GPT's usefulness simply by giving it a lens through which to respond. Let's start with the basics. What do we mean by role-playing in the context of GPT? This concept isn't about playing pretend for entertainment, though it can be used creatively in that way. Instead, we're talking about giving GPT a specific identity or perspective in order to tailor its responses to a particular goal. When GPT role-plays, it temporarily adopts the voice and knowledge of the role you assign, whether that's a history professor, a financial advisor, a fitness coach, or even a fictional character. You can think of this like having a consultant on call, one who adapts instantly to whatever you need. Assigning roles allows you to treat GPT more like a specialized tool, tuned to your current objective, rather than a generic assistant. The magic here lies in clarity and intention. If you clearly define the role, GPT can offer surprisingly specific and helpful insight. Let's explore a couple of examples. Suppose you're reviewing the causes and impact of the American Civil War, and you want historical context. You might say, "You are a high school history teacher. Explain to me the economic factors that led to the Civil War." Framing the request this way cues GPT to speak in a teaching voice. Target the explanation to your level and focus on educational clarity. Or let's say you're launching a product and need strategic input. You could prompt, "You are an experienced marketing consultant. Identify 3 ways to generate buzz for a new eco-friendly kitchen appliance." Rather than giving general advice, GPT will respond as though it's stepping into that consulting role, drawing on relevant techniques and perspectives. Now that you grasp the concept, let's walk through how you actually assign a role. This part is both simple and powerful. The key is to be deliberate with your prompt. Think of your words as setting the stage. Who is GPT supposed to be? What are you asking it to help you with? And what level of depth or formality do you expect? There's a 3-step approach that works well. First, define the role. Second, provide context. Third, ask for a specific output. Let's apply that with an example. Imagine you want help building a financial strategy. You'd start with the role. You are a certified financial advisor. Then add context. A 35-year-old professional wants to retire by age 60. Finally, request specific guidance. Suggest 3 practical investment strategies they can follow, starting with a moderate income. Combining a clear role, relevant background, and a defined objective allows GPT to align its response much more closely to your intent. Here's another example that takes a similar structure. Maybe you're trying to get into shape. You prompt, "You are a personal trainer specializing in strength training. Design a 4-week workout plan for a beginner who can train 3 times a week, focusing on building foundational strength." Again, the combination of role, context, and clarity helps GPT deliver useful, accurate, goal-oriented suggestions. Let's move from structure to application. Why might you want to set roles for GPT in everyday life? Because doing so helps it perform sophisticated tasks that mimic collaboration with real professionals. Whether you're stuck brainstorming, editing an article, problem-solving at work, or even just trying to organize your personal schedule, assigning a role helps narrow the focus, improve the output, and make your interaction feel more productive. Let's look at a few real-world examples. Say you're starting a new creative project, a novel, a business idea, or a video script. You might assign GPT the role of a creative partner. Ask it to help you brainstorm plot points, brand names, or content outlines. This can remove the friction that often comes with starting from scratch. Or Maybe you've written something important, a professional email, a cover letter, a blog post, and you'd like feedback. Assign the role of writing coach. Prompt GPT with, "You are a professional editor. Review my paragraph and tell me how I could improve clarity and tone." Then, paste your writing. It can help refine your language and suggest improvements that might not have occurred to you on your own. Now imagine you're in customer support. You've got frequent emails or messages coming in asking the same things. You could assign GPT the role of customer service assistant. Ask it to draft friendly, informative responses to common questions. This could save you significant time and improve consistency. What makes GPT role-playing so impactful is that it encourages more relevant, functional, and adapted responses. Instead of generic information, you're creating a dialogue that maps onto your real needs. But there are best practices you should follow to get the most out of this technique. First, be specific. Vague prompts often lead to vague answers. "Help me with business" won't produce the same results as "You are a startup advisor helping a solo founder grow an email list." Suggest 3 tactics tailored to service-based businesses. Second, don't be afraid to iterate. If the first response GPT gives isn't quite right, revise your prompt. Add more detail, clarify the role, or adjust your expectations. Think of it as a conversation that gradually sharpens the result. Here's an example. Suppose you start with, "Act as a nutritionist. Give me a healthy meal plan." If you find the result too generic or not suited to your preferences, adjust. "You are a registered dietitian. Create a 7-day vegetarian meal plan for someone aiming to lower cholesterol and who avoids dairy products." That refinement moves the result much closer to your actual goal. Third, provide examples when possible. If you're asking GPT to write something or play a creative role, show it what kind of result you expect. For instance, if you're asking it to write marketing copy in the voice of a brand, giving it a sample tweet or tagline can dramatically improve the alignment with your vision. It's also important to understand the limitations. While GPT is adaptable, it's not perfect. It may misunderstand your role assignment if it's too abstract or poorly defined. It can also produce information that sounds confident but may need verification, especially in technical or financial domains. Let's unpack that a bit. Suppose you assign the role of tax advisor and ask about a complex deduction strategy. GPT might give a plausible-sounding answer, but it may not be fully accurate or reflect updated tax laws. In cases like this, treat GPT as a springboard, not a final authority. Use its suggestions as a starting point, then confirm details using verified sources or professionals. Another limitation is that some roles are easier for GPT to simulate than others. It performs best when filling roles that have clear structures and goals, like teachers, editors, planners, coaches, or general consultants. Roles that require high emotional intelligence, deep empathy, or abstract judgment, like therapists, mediators, or spiritual guides, can be more complex and less reliable. In those cases, prompts must be worded carefully and results treated with greater discretion. So, how do you know when assigning a role is the right move? Think about your goal. If you need GPT to generate ideas, explain something clearly, write something in a specific voice, or offer structured guidance, then assigning a role can be extremely effective. If your request is more casual or doesn't require a particular point of view, an open-ended prompt may be fine. You'll also find that this method scales really well. In professional settings, assigning roles can help teams simulate scenarios, write better documentation, design training materials, or draft communications. In creative contexts, it can stimulate project planning, world building, or dialogue writing. In personal life, it can help with journaling, managing goals, or learning new skills. To wrap up, let's summarize the key points we covered today. First, role-playing with GPT means assigning it a specific identity or perspective to focus and customize its responses. Second, you can assign roles effectively using a 3-part structure. Define the role, add context, and ask for a clear output. Third, This technique is useful across a wide spectrum of needs, from gaining new insights to drafting content, from project planning to self-improvement. Fourth, best practices include being specific with your prompts, iterating when results need refining, and giving examples when possible. Finally, while role-playing unlocks rich interactions, it's crucial to remember GPT's limitations and to verify important insights in professional or sensitive areas. As we continue through this course, you'll start layering role-based prompting with other powerful techniques like formatting constraints, memory tools, and output structuring. For now, experiment with assigning different roles and observing how the tone, depth, and content change. The more you practice, the more effective and natural this process will become. Consider how role-playing could become a daily tool in your digital toolkit. Whether you need a teacher, a critic, a coach, or a creative partner, GPT can be shaped into what you need, when you need it, with just a few carefully chosen words.